Hi friends and welcome. We're going to hop right into today's projects with project number 1. We're going to upcycle some wooden Jenga blocks that I purchased at a yard sale. I'm applying 1 coat of the Waverly Antique Wax and I'll wipe that back. Next, I drill the hole right in the middle of each one of the pieces right up at the top. Next, I'm grabbing some vintage buttons and I'm going to use white and clear, and we're going to make little snowmen on 2 of these wooden pieces. And I'll apply them using the Gorilla Wood Glue, and I will be brushing it on because I think that works the best. I tied on some blue and white baker's twine for a hanger at the top, and then slipped on a small wooden bead that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And then for the last wooden block, I took some buttons and glued them on in a pattern, and I really like how this one turned out. You guys will have to let me know what you think and what are your ideas for upcycling some of these little wooden blocks. I do have one more idea, which I'll share with you shortly. I wanted something a little unique for a hanger, so I decided to use some of this thin copper wire and for a hook, and I think it helped complete the look. What do you think? If you'd like to learn how to make these Christmas tags and more on Canva, be sure to head over to my second channel, and I'll have that link for you below in the description. You can also head over to my blog at creative-DIY-purpose.com, which I'll have linked right here for you, and you can download and print for free 3 new Christmas tag printables. So for project number 2, I'm going to take one of the book page wreaths that I made over the fall, and we're going to give it a look for the holidays. If you stick with me at the end of this video, I will link the video where I made these book page wreaths, or head over to my blog again at creative-DIY-purpose.com and check out the full written tutorial. I used 2 different shades of green from apple barrel paint. I mixed them together in a bowl, and I did add a couple tablespoons of water because I wanted it watered down so that way the book pages will help to absorb it. Now I will tell you to make sure you fluff out your pages first because they will stick together. So you really want your wreath to have the shape that you want before you paint it. You can also put your watered down paint in a spray bottle, which is what I've done before in previous videos. Both ways work. And right after this project, I'm going to share my biggest tip on how you can get your items dried super quick to be able to go on to the next step. And I did put a coat of paint on the back as well. I love, once it dries, the different texture that the paint creates. It gives it a much more durable feel and a really cool texture. And then I took some glitter, kind of shimmery type of paint, and brushed it on all of the edges and let that dry. And then I applied a touch more gold on any of the edges that I felt really needed that extra pop. I picked up some velvet ribbon at the thrift store, and I thought it matched the berries that you can get at the Dollar Tree. I did take a mixture of the Gorilla Wood Glue, mixed it in with some fine glitter, and added it to the berries just for a festive look. All right, so here's my hack for drying items. I put them in my dehydrator just for a couple minutes. I have found it is a great way to help speed the drying time for anything non-toxic like glue, dry your paint brushes, and any type of non-toxic paint. Again, just a super low setting and only for a few minutes. Project number 3, you're gonna want 3 Jenga blocks per ornament. Line them up, apply some of the Gorilla Wood Glue to each piece. Make sure that they're even. Sometimes they can kind of slip, and you're going to want to allow those to dry. Then I applied some black paint from Apple Barrel, let that dry. Now I'm taking a piece of chalk, going around the edges. I want to give this piece like a chalkboard feel, a vintage style one. And you're going to spray these with sealer so you'll actually be able to lock in that chalk. These little bird ink stamps I picked up at the Dollar Tree over the summer. I have found that if you're using paint in a one of the ink stamps, it's a little bit easier if you use a multi-surface enamel paint. It tends to be like a little bit stickier and it gives you a crisper look. At least that's what I found that's worked the best for me. Project number 4 is another super easy ornament idea. I had some garland that I thrifted from a yard sale last year. I cut those into pieces, and now I'm taking a dried twig and I'm adding some white wax on to kind of soften the look, as well as on to the 5 pieces of greenery. I would recommend though using like a watered down white paint because I'm going to be gluing this on. And my concern, of course, after I did it was, hey, you've just glued wax. It's probably going to come off. But so far, we're good to go. But in the future, I would definitely use like a watered down white paint. Next, to take the twig branches, I folded mine in half to get the center point so that they were even. And then hot glue them on, the longer one on the bottom. And then just make sure you have an even space. You're going to want to leave space up at the top for the star and leave space on the bottom. And then for ornaments, I decided to use the clear and white vintage buttons that I had, but I thought it would look cute for kids to make some of these and use some colorful pom-poms. Okay, project number 6 is my favorite. I know I said the other one, but nope, this one is definitely my favorite. You guys know I love anything vintage. I love this little silver pitcher. I'm going to take some of the floral foam, cut it, and place it inside of the pitcher. Next, I'm going to take these bottle brush trees. These are the ones that I showed over on social media, and I posted the Amazon link. I will also link this in the description box below. I thought these were a really good deal, and they're decent quality for the price. I'm gluing a set of 3 of these together. And then I took some lace ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree, tied that up around the top because I thought that they coordinated with the trees very well. And now I have some Spanish moss. This stuff is such a hot mess. It's worse than glitter, but I found that if you twist it, it will stay together better. Then I wrapped it around the edge of the little pitcher, glued it on, and held it into place for a little bit. Now I'm taking a vintage button and putting that on the ribbon. And you could also use pine cones in place of the bottle brush trees. So you can click the video on the right. That's the link that I promised you for the book page wreath, or you can click on the one on the left to watch some fall and winter DIY projects using pine cones. Friends, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a super blessed week and God bless you.